In my last podcast, I addressed women and their unrealistic expectations and entitlements that were destroying relationships. This time, I'd like to address men, although in a different way. I would venture to say that a lot of men are at crossroads right now in their lives, especially the younger generation, maybe millennials or Gen Z, but it doesn't really have to be the younger generation. I was affected by this myself about 9 months ago. So you're at a crossroads right now, and you're looking at two different paths that are diametrically different trajectories. They're not parallel, they're completely going in different directions. What do you do? And how do you resolve this? How do you quit treading water when it comes to your purpose in life? Let's explore this extremely important topic with profound implications on our civilization. Welcome back, all you wandering souls, to the Wandering Soul podcast. My name is Vince, and the last podcast I addressed women and their effect were having on the downfall of civilization through the destruction of relationships. Today, I wanted to talk about men and reclaiming their soul's purpose and aligning themselves with God's plan for them. But before we start, I'd like for you to please help us build this channel and spread this ministry by liking and subscribing. And I think your creator will really thank you for this. Many men are at the crossroads of their lives right now, probably more so for Gen Z than millennials, and perhaps Gen X, but even older men have the same feeling of, is this all there is? Is this what my whole life is about? 9 to 5, working for 50 years, and for what? I used to have those thoughts like this when I was in my 30s. Every time I visited Hawaii, I felt the relaxing energy and the pace of life, and I had thoughts of just quitting my endless job and selling everything I have and moving to Hawaii and selling T-shirts to tourists. I thought that might be more relaxing and fulfilling life than working for someone else my entire life and ending up with wasted years. I think I knew when I was about 12 that I was born to help others in a number of ways. Sometimes I felt like an on-call psychiatrist, and other times a prophet providing others with their future prophecies. But what I didn't know at the time was there was one more thing God wanted me to do, and that was bring his word to others through this ministry. And not really a ministry with a church, as the church is not a building, but all of God's people. I believe part of my purpose is to help others through this spiritual revolution we're happening right now. It's a spiritual transition, for want of a better word, which brings us back to today's topic. So wherever you are in life, you will inevitably come to this crossroad. I did more than once. The choice for one path will probably come from a perspective of doubt and unworthiness or uncertainty. This thinking comes from a lack of alignment with God's plan and a place of limitation or scarcity. This path will lead you to a version of yourself that's separate from what God intended you to be. If you think you're on this path all on your own and you're still scared and confused and as to where this will all end up, then you're not in alignment with your true purpose. Now, this other path, the path that God wants you to take, will require his divine guidance. As it's not always logical to you at times, it might not make sense because it could be completely out of your comfort zone. It certainly was for me at first, and I still wonder if I'll be very good at it. I thought at first, ministry, what do I do? What do I say? I know my place was not really in a building on Sunday speaking to people. But as time went on, I knew this was going to be different. I was to speak to others through different platforms They're not generally in a building on Sundays, but all over the world. At least that is where my heart was leading me. So when you're facing this crossroad, remember this is not necessarily about the path or even the destination. It's really about you. Do you want to play it safe and stay in your comfort zone and, and in effect be separate from the man God created you to be? Or do you want to lean into the man that God always intended for you to be? You see, God created you for this exact period of time, for you to be a part of this spiritual revolution, this transition, to help him bring this planet back into balance with his plan. So what do? Well, first seek the kingdom of heaven, his divine presence in you. Align yourself with him and he will reveal his plan for you. Perhaps not all at once. You're certainly not doing it all at once for me, but certainly over time. He will bring the right people into your life. He'll bring the right opportunities. He'll provide you with the right skills. You remember, he created you to build and to create and to provide and to protect and also to lead. Now, how does that manifest in you? How do you know what God was wanting? I kind of look at it in three steps. Well, step one is take action on the opportunity that it contains the highest level of passion or excitement for your heart, since it's coming from your soul. Since I always felt I was created to help others, I knew I would provide much philanthropy one day. And in the past, I've healed others through my words, and I know came directly from God because I didn't exactly remember what I said right after I said it. So God wanted to remind me that this was an important part of the purpose in my life, spreading his word to help heal others and to spread his love and his joy and into their lives. Remember to release the fear-based beliefs that you might have. They're not going to do you any good here. Remember, this path is not your logical brain telling you where to go. It's spirit-based, and it may at times seem confusing. Step number two is take this action on your soul's passion to the best of your ability. Use all of your skills, talents, imagination, and abilities in taking this action. Act to your fullest degree that you're able to act. If more than one opportunity has equal ability to be acted upon, choose either one, and he'll show you whether or not to continue down that path. Yes, this path might be alien to you. It may stretch you. It will certainly shape you. At times, you may feel like a poser, thinking, who am I to even think I can undertake this direction? But listen, if you fail, God will pick you up. You'll be surprised at how many ways he'll show you what you should be doing. Trust me, I've experienced that. It's the final step. Step three is to act on your soul's passion or excitement without regard or assumption to what the specific outcome should be. Understand that insistence on a specific outcome, manifestation, or a path may actually prevent a better manifestation than you imagined. And in other words, you may be blocking what God had actually intended for the outcome to be. You see, it's best to try not to overthink and keep logic out of the spiritual journey. So the thing itself that you're passionate about may not need to come to fruition. It may only excite you to take an action in order to create a state of being in which the thing that actually needs to manifest can do so. In other words, what if God gave you the talent to be a gifted singer-songwriter and you're amazing with music? Your gift of music can certainly heal others through your words and your melodies. But if you were believing that this would lead you to start a band and spread your music to others that way, you may be blocking the fact that God might want you to be a producer and multiply your gifts through many others. So, man, I pray this gave you some form of guidance on finding your life's purpose. I know jumping onto this path towards your true purpose might scare you at first. You'll be sacrificing your old, perhaps comfortable life, but jump anyway, because you don't want to sacrifice what God always intended for you. You don't want to sacrifice, not even know or even see with your own eyes and experience what God created for you to become. Because let me tell you something, you are here for so much more than what you're currently experiencing or have experienced. God needs men to find their true purpose, as He will use them to guide this world back to its rightful path. May God bless you all, and thanks for joining me. See you next time.